what's up, everybody? It's Boxer Nation, and today we'll be discussing the aftermath of Luke Campbell versus Vasyl Lomachenko. And then after that, we'll be discussing possible matchups for Lomachenko. What's next? Give your thoughts on how you thought the fight went, how it actually went, and what you think.
If you didn't tune into our video prior to this one, it goes hand to hand, so be sure to check that out if you haven't checked it out. And we kind of go in depth about our predictions about that fight. But the fight unfolded the way I thought it would be. I predicted Lomachenko to win by UD, and he did. And like I said, it was an interesting fight because Luke Campbell's very tall and rangy, and it was interesting to see Lomachenko adjust to his style, which he did have a bit fit, and I did see that he got kind of like hurt, clipped a little bit, not too crazy, but I saw that, I did peep that he got hurt in that fight. But as always, Lomachenko is known to have that vulnerability in certain rounds and one round, but he always overcomes that adversity and wins decisively, and he did the same thing like no other. Like it's always the same thing with him. Maybe he'll get dropped. Like his last fight with Hernandez or whatever the fight was recently, and he got dropped first time in his career, correct?
Right.
And look what he did. He came back, won decisively, and stopped him. And no different with Luke Campbell. He didn't stop him, but he won decisively. When you win by UD, it was it's day and night. You won decisively. But it unfolded the way I would thought it would have came out. And like I said, I mean, I don't watch Luke Campbell, but I kind of had a good idea how he fought, what he was going to bring to the table. And I wasn't surprised that he went all 12 rounds because he seems like a gritty fighter to get through a tough opponent like Lomachenko. He did that with Hernandez. I think he dropped him pretty hard, and he still won 12 rounds with him. So Luke Campbell, hats off to him. He fought hard, but this is boxing, man. It's not a pretty sport. It's an ugly sport. You win or you lose. It's just how it is. That's how the game goes in boxing. But as always, you pay respect for people who can hang and compete, even though he lost. I don't think his stock went down. I think his stock's still there. Some people lose, their stock goes down. Some people lose, their stock goes up. But with this case, I think it's still at that point. I think there's still. I would like to see him fight other names, even though he lost to Lomachenko. But as always, that's what I thought about the fight. No different. He's been doing what he does, and what do you think about the whole situation?
I think it went like how we said it. I thought it was gonna go how it's gonna go. Like Luke Campbell showed that he's he can compete at that level. He didn't although he did lose by unanimous decision. He didn't get knocked out. He did compete in spurts. But that's that's Lomachenko. That's the man right now. So it shows that he's elite to compete with those guys. Lomachenko did what I thought he was gonna do. I thought maybe he could even stop Campbell, like maybe so, but I didn't. Lomachenko's not known to knock people out cold or nothing like that. I didn't think that was gonna happen, but maybe with pressure and stuff like that. Lomachenko started really strong. He just he did what he was supposed to do. He dominated Luke Campbell, and Luke Campbell, like I said, he was game. He went 12 rounds with Vasyl Lomachenko, who's a man. And I would like to see him fight other guys. He's a guy who throws a lot of punches. He's rangy. He can get a lot of guys fits. He's just having to fight, some of the best guys in the division. So.
I totally agree with you. I actually like his style of fighting. Like there's some fighters I see and I'm just like, I don't care to see them fight. But I like what he brings to the ring. Like he has a good style. It's entertaining, to be honest, because he fights to win. Like he's not scary. He goes out there and he fights. He tries. And sometimes like. A great example of a fight that I didn't like because the fighter got scared after he got clipped was, it's happened a long time ago. It was Manny Pacquiao versus Shane. I like Shane. I think he's a great fighter, but once he fought that Pacquiao, he ran the entire fight. I hate when fighters do that. Like, I get it. You don't want to run the chance of getting knocked out, and it's embarrassing. I totally get it. But at the end of the day, you're in the sport of boxing. Like you don't have to entertain anybody, and obviously you have to protect your health for the most part. But at the same time, as a fan and me watching and being a spectator, it kind of like it's annoying to see a fighter who sees adversity and doesn't want to overcome that adversity. Like, let me play it safe and take my pride with me and like go 12 rounds. Luke Campbell's not that type of guy, from what it seems like. When he got dropped from Hernandez, he came back and still was trying to fight and win the fight, but he just got outpointed, outskilled, and no different with the Lomachenko fight. Lomachenko was he adjusted, gave him a lot of fits, hurt him, dropped him, and he still was out there throwing his combination. I like the way he fights.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the whole fight. I watched the in-depth highlight video of the fight, and it wasn't a 2-minute highlight video. It was like an in-depth where it was like 10 minutes long, or it was like 8 minutes long. I can't recall. And it basically, I got a good gist of the fight, and I kind of envisioned how the fight would unfold physically. And when they got in the ring, and it basically portrayed what I thought was gonna happen in the ring. And it was interesting. And it was actually better for Luke Campbell because like I said, I never watched much of him, but I like what he brings to the table, and I would definitely like to see him fight more fighters on that aspect. But it's just, it is what it is. Sometimes guys are in divisions and a time where it's just not meant to be. And not saying that he won't be a great go down in history books, but it's like that sometimes. Sometimes it's some people's era, and there's nothing you can do about it. And Lomachenko seems to be that guy.
I still think there's interesting fights for Campbell.
Oh, definitely, I totally agree.
Because even with Hernandez, it was a split decision. It was like tooth and nail with Hernandez. So there's still fights for him to be made, most definitely. But now let's talk about possible matchups of Lomachenko. What's next for him?
Yeah, what's next? Well, after he won his fight, he didn't really call anybody out from the post interview that Top Rank posted on their YouTube account. He basically wants the belt, that IBF title, I believe, that Kami has, and Kami is fighting Teofimo Lopez for that, and they were asking Lomachenko about fights that he named, like names that have been mentioning his name, which Teofimo Lopez is one of them, and he was brutally honest with the guy who interviewed him after his post-fight interview, and said that he didn't think Teofimo Lopez was going to beat Kami, which is funny, It's a good matchup. I think that fight honestly is 50-50 because it's like, I've never watched much of Kami myself, but I've seen him one fight, and I briefly heard what he brings to the table as a fighter. I've read articles about him, and it seems to be that he's a very rugged fighter, and he brings a lot of power. As far as I know, I don't know if he's a good combination puncher. I don't know his style, but I know he possesses good power, and he's known to knock out his opponents and stuff like that. And I've seen one fight, and he does have an interesting style, but I can't give an honest opinion on him. But I do know Teofimo Lopez. I've watched him multiple times. I like the way he fights. It's exciting. His recent fight, he got a lot of backlash from fans, but if you're genuinely somebody who knows boxing, who's boxed, and sees it for what it is, he really didn't have a bad performance. Yeah, it wasn't the Teofimo Lopez that we all know.
The signature knockout.
Yeah, but he won the fight. I felt like he won, and it's boxing. Not every fight's gonna be pretty, but I think Teofimo Lopez is a good matchup for Lomachenko. But do I think he's ready for him? No. I think Lomachenko beats him decisively. I just don't think he's ready for him. He's young, confident. He possesses a lot of power. He has good speed. I wouldn't say he has the fastest hands in the boxing game in that division for sure. But he has good speed, good power for sure. I just don't think he has the experience to take on a fighter like him, or the smarts. I'm saying that he's not a smart fighter, but there's levels to this boxing game, and Lomachenko's on another level. And I just don't think Teofimo Lopez can give him a competitive fight. He'll give him a good fight. I just don't think that fight will go 12 rounds in my opinion. But what do you think about possible matchups for him?
The Teofimo, and if he gets past Kami, that would be interesting for sure. Or even Kami and Lomachenko. Kami doesn't have the name. Besides that, so I'd rather see Teofimo Lopez versus Vasyl Lomachenko, just because Teofimo brings that name. He brings that hype. Even with this last fight, like you said, he got slapped. But even with that, he still brings a little more excitement. I think it's more people know who he is.
Exactly.
But
not to cut you off, but he is calling out Lomachenko. He wants that fight, so that makes it so much more interesting because he's so confident that he can beat him, and he's like, hey, let's fucking fight, basically. And why not? Let's match it up. It's exciting. It looks good on paper. Let's have it. But yeah.
But anyway, what I'd rather see, or even besides the fucking Lopez or Kami fighter, whoever the fuck that is, I'd rather see fucking Tank versus Lomachenko. That's, to me, the fight to make. Now, people are talking about Lomachenko go down in weight. Whether he goes down or go, I'd rather have Tank come up, because if you're going to challenge fucking Lomachenko, why not go up? But if Lomachenko is willing to go down, well, then fuck it, go down and make that fight happen.
I totally agree. That was the next fight that I want to possibly see with Lomachenko is Tank. I really want to see that fight. That fight would be, that's easily for me. I would pay money to see that. Like,
that's the fight.
That's the fight for Lomachenko. Another good fight would be Pacquiao. But let's go in depth with the Tank fight. Lomachenko said it himself. He would be willing to go down to 130 to fight Tank, and that just shows how much. So it kind of shows how confident he is to be matched up and how much he wants that fight. Like, he doesn't have to go down. He almost has the 135 division. He's basically almost the undisputed champion in that division. So there's no need for Lomachenko to go. That just shows how much he really wants to fight him and tell the people like, yes, I'm better than him. He's not on my level, and that's basically what he's implying. And honestly, I just don't think Tank can beat Lomachenko at this point in time. Will he follow the Da Vinci Code, Mayweather's blueprint? I think he will. I think they're gonna wait it out. They're not in a rush to make that fight happen. It's the smartest thing they should do. That's the smartest thing their camp will do. They're not gonna make that fight anytime soon. I would love to see that fight, but I just don't see it happening at the right time. Same thing how Mayweather did. I know I'm gonna might get some backlash on it, but that fight, the Mayweather and Pacquiao fight should have been made a long time before it even happened. And I mean, obviously it's Mayweather and Pacquiao would happen. Everybody wants to see it regardless, but the timing on it was pretty bad. Floyd chose when he wanted that fight, and I think it's no different for Tank Davis and Lomachenko. They're gonna be smart and do the Mayweather blueprint and wait it out until he gets older, or they see him slowing down and are fading out of his prime. That's the only time I'll see that. I think that fight would ever happen. But right now, Tank don't want the smoke. I'm just being honest. Like, and don't get me wrong, Tank has a puncher's chance. That dude can crack, and he's fast. He got all the tools to make an upset. But the thing is, when you hurt a fighter, the hardest part is finishing the fighter. And we all know Lomachenko's really good at recovering. He's really good at adjusting, and he's really good at taking away things from a fighter during the fight. So it's also interesting to know if we'll honestly see if Tank can adjust to that. Because we've never seen Tank face adversity.
The biggest thing with me is like Tank. You see, what's obvious. He's sensational punching power. He's young. He's strong. But what we don't see is he's not very active. For a guy who's young like that, who's strong, I would like to see him more active. But he's not active. A guy like that who's knocking motherfuckers. Like even Mike Tyson is pro. His first year pro, I think he had like 15 fights or something. Tank has that style, but he's not bringing that activeness, and I think that's where they're fucking up with him because you're wasting his youth.
Yeah.
And right now, I mean, of course, honestly, I feel the same way. They're gonna look out for Tank. They don't want Tank to probably not take the Loma fight. But to me, I was like, what the fuck do you have to lose?
It's a big payday.
Yeah, it's a big payday.
That's why you're in the sport.
Lomachenko's not. I don't think Lomachenko's gonna knock him out cold. Like if he does stop, I don't even think he would.
I don't think he'll knock him out cold, but I could see him definitely TKO.
If he does stop him, it'll be he's just get overwhelmed with something.
Yeah.
But even at that, like man, I would like to see that fight happen. I mean, people want to see it. People, they believe, they believe in the hype that Tank brings. Not saying that it's all just hype, but we haven't seen Tank fight anybody of substance, and that's my honest opinion. I don't think he's fought anybody.
I feel the same way. I don't think that he hasn't fought anybody. I just don't think he's fighting anybody extremely dangerous.
Well,
he fought Pedraza. Pedraza's a good fighter, but he's not.
There's levels.
There's levels, exactly.
He hasn't fought top tier competition.
Exactly.
And we haven't seen him fight enough.
And he's never faced adversity, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think Lomachenko. If I was Lomachenko, I would be trying to make that fight happen now. Now that Tank's young, now that he's inactive, now that Lomachenko's only getting older.
Yeah.
So
he looks good, man.
He looks
good. He doesn't look close to being out of his prime.
But I'm saying like he's only getting older. So the more the fight waits, the more experience Tank gets. Cause Tank's young.
He's only gonna get better.
Yeah, he can buy time. Lomachenko can buy time, but
not too much.
Not too much.
Exactly.
So I mean, but at the end of the day, man, I feel like the Tank fight is the one to make. Now if they don't make it, man, it's I think it's probably on Tank's side.
It's gonna be on his team side because Loma's he's not scared to fight anybody.
And maybe his top ring too. I mean, who knows?
Maybe
there's always under the table. And all
business. I just really think. I think Loma wants to fight, but you also got to take in place that boxing is just not about matching up fighters. It's a business as well. What's best for them as a business? What's best for the promotion?
But that's
what's best for the fighter?
That's the fight.
But that's the fight that everybody wants to see is Lomachenko versus Tank. There's so many disputes that happen on the internet, social media. Y'all know it. We know it. It's back and forth. It's a stalemate, and when it comes to argument.
Yeah, everybody thinks this is happening, but and that's interesting to see. But honestly, we don't know shit until it actually happens, and that's what I want to see. I want to see that shit happen.
And the whole thing with me is that I'm a bit biased. I won't lie, but I try to be objective when I and respectful when we talk about fighters and stuff like that. But if I would give my prediction of the fight happening, and then let's say they put in the tablet, hey, they're gonna fight. There's a date. I would say 80-20. 80% Lomachenko, 20% for Tank. That's my prediction. I just think, I don't know. I just don't think he could beat him. But
I just think right now this is the time to fight.
Time to do it.
Just like whenever Mayweather jumped on Canelo, super young, super green. That's the time to fucking fight him. I mean, but anyway, and not saying that if Mayweather fought Canelo now it'd be different. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying he saw greenness. He was like, let me get that fight now.
Take advantage. Let me exploit that.
Let me get a big.
He definitely exploited him.
Yeah, definitely.
But besides that, another.